Hi guys, welcome to another Learn Electronics Repair video. I have a Bluetooth speaker here. This is a Beoplay P6 Bang & Olufsen, I think, and quite an expensive bit of kit actually for a little speaker. I have my phone connected to it, and it's basically working. I think you can probably see the problem on the video. Yeah, this button isn't working. The plus volume. Obviously, they like to turn it up a lot, and that's why it's that button's given up the ghost. Yeah, so we can just try this actually and see if it is working. I've connected it to the phone. That was quite easy to do. Let's find some music. Yeah, should have some music now.
La cuenta online BBVA
Well,
no te pide nada.
we've got the
Pero
adverts,
condiciones, cero comisiones,
that's for
ni
sure.
nómina, ni
So
recibos,
we
nada.
have sound coming
Escenas
out of
de
it.
verdad.
Let's see. Bump. I think maybe the battery's a bit flat on this. You know, it just started and stopped. Let me just. Yeah, it just dropped the connection. Let me put it onto the USB lead to get a bit of power into it. So I think the first problem is the battery is just flat. Yeah, the lights come on now, white, and it's made a bleep like it's connected. So it might not work brilliantly until it gets some more charge. But let's see. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem too happy, does it? But it might just be, as I say, that it wants some charge. Yeah, I can turn it down a bit, that might help. Let's see. Yeah. So I'd say it is working, it just needs, just needs some more charge in it. So let's have a look, see if we can actually fix this thing. I mean, the first problem seems to be is going to be getting into it. I would have thought. Switch off if we hold this in. Yeah, it faded out. It went off. So the first problem is going to be getting into this, and I think you get in from the bottom. I think you take this cover off, and then there's some screws underneath. Let me see if I can get inside it. I had a look to see how to get into these things, and it seems a little bit complicated. But the first thing is to take this little rubber base off. That's a rubber ring thing, and then there's some screws under here. This is quite tight to remove, well glued, so I'd say this has not been removed previously. I'm probably the first person to actually get inside this one, so this needs to come off, and then we have some screws here so we can get inside it. So I'll get these removed, and then let's have a look to see. And they're crosshead screws, they're not normal Phillips screws or anything like that. Okay, so I've taken those screws out, and this piece now effectively comes free. So we have looks like a couple of connectors in here. Hopefully we can disconnect, and then get this part off. Not easily, but I'm pretty sure we can. A lot of foamy stuff on this. This looks like it's unplugged. Oh, it went click. It was unplugged, but obviously it was connected to the battery still. So we've now disconnected the power, yeah, and that's, well, mostly off. So we have that. Then what else do we have? Well, we have some screws in here, which I think take these two covers off, so we can unscrew those and then see if that comes off. Yeah, this seems to be the right size for these. Again, these little star head screw things. What can we talk about while we're doing this? The weather's good. Yeah, talk about the weather. It's sunny. That's what you can say, really. It's sunny. Sunny and hot. Warm last night, that's for sure. Come on out, you. Come on. I was at the car boot yesterday. found an old P4 with AGP, computer, €18, complete machine. So we can have a car booty video soon. We haven't done that for some time, yeah. And I have a few more laptops and odds and ends, another inverter. I have quite a few things to look at actually. A couple of sponsored videos coming up. I've got a few things on the way which people are sending me asking if I will review, and basically if they're related to repair work I generally say yes. If they're just consumer electronics or otherwise I generally say no. So you can be pretty certain that what's coming is going to be quite interesting. More of these, more of these. One more. And I don't believe this is the end of it. I think this is just effectively just to get these covers off. And then there's more. So, oh, it doesn't really seem to want to come off. Oh, that's coming off. This is the side with the switches as well. Yeah. This is actually the... Oh yeah, off it comes. So these are just like little plastic tabs on here. They're not switches. In fact, you can probably see that one's a bit bent there. Yeah. Just for what this cost, you know. I mean, these are just bits of like plastic. So the switches themselves are here. Well, that one doesn't feel very good. Yeah. That's clicky. That's clicky. That's clicky. That one is. Oh, all the switches are okay. All the switches seem okay. So this is the one that the guy has a problem with. And I'd say the switch itself is fine. Let's try it. Let's try it and see. So we'll connect the thing back on the bottom. Let's see if it is actually working. Okay, it's back kind of a bit together. So we can see this is the button that's the volume. It is on. I still think the battery's a bit low. So let's see if the switches are actually working. I think they probably are, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I can turn it down and I can turn it up. So it seems to me like it's working. What I'll do is I'll just give it 30 minutes to charge the battery and then make sure it's playing okay at the higher volumes. But the question is how to fix it, because it seems like the problem is just this little metally plastic little thing here, yeah? Very hard to figure out how I'm actually going to fix that. Okay, so it's together. So yeah, shut it down, restart it, and we'll try and connect to that with the phone. And then let's see. So this really is more like a mechanical problem with this than an actual fault. Okay, so we're on. Oh, sounds like it connected. Let's go back to a bit of funky music. Yeah. Yep. It's like you can overdrive this. That's pretty. That's not a bad sound actually, as a little speaker, to be quite honest. Yeah. Okay guys, that was a quick easy repair, that one. That was really quite a quick and easy repair, that one. I'm not even sure I'd call that electronics repair, but that's as much as I can do with this. It's working. Let's have a look at something else. Hi guys, I've not had any car booty for a while. I was down at the flea market on Sunday and I found this one. I've been going every week, I've just not seen any computers there for a good while, to be quite honest. This one's a Pentium 478, I'm pretty sure of that. And it's really heavy. I mean, there's some weight to this, it's surprisingly heavy. So let's see if we can get this opened up, which in itself is not so easy. You need like 3 hands to do it by the looks of it. Let's see if we can get inside it and see what we actually have here. Oh, well, with a little bit of persuasion, yeah, it's opened. It doesn't slide back, it lifts. It lifts. What do we have here other than something that needs a lot of focus? Let's try. Okay, wow, it's clean inside. It's a gigabyte motherboard. GA80, was it 8? It looks like a GA8 SIMLN. Lots of letters, yeah. That's a socket 478 Pentium 4 without a douse. Just looking at the way the heatsink fits onto it. It's complete. We have a 160 gig hard drive in here and no graphics card. But it does have onboard VGA. So I think we can have a quick look at this. We'll check to see if it has any shorts. I'm guessing that, yeah, the 12 volt comes down here, almost in shot. Yeah, you can almost see it. So we can look for shorts on there. Nice, rather attractive purple coloured AGP slot on this one. This is a little network card by the looks of it. So let's have a look to see if there's any short circuits on this first, and if not, we'll try it. I mean, all the capacitors look good on this actually. I know we've got a couple of bulged capacitors here, so they're going to need changing. Yeah, probably another one down here. So we have some capacitor issues with this. Let's see if there's anything short. Then I might well try it actually. I might give it a go. You'd expect it would probably power up with those capacitors. It might not be stable. I think it would be worth just trying actually. Just untangle these wires a little bit. There we go. So we go to resistance and let's see if we see any shorts on the 12 volts. No, there's no short there. I can see it, you can't see it. Yeah, it's just climbing up the resistance. So we don't have a short on the 12 volts. So I think it's going to be reasonable to actually power this up, and let's see if it actually does boot. I can try first. I have the power supply connected. It's not switched on at the moment. Let's go to put the current limiter on. Well, let's see if it actually draws a little bit of power. You'd expect it to draw some power. Well, no, it didn't light up at all, so that's a bit surprising. Maybe a problem with the power supply. I'll switch that off. We'll put the power supply was off. Maybe that's why it didn't draw any power. So we go back to current limit and we'll just power it up. Yeah, okay, one flick and went out. So that's probably a good sign. It probably means that the capacitor's charged up inside and we probably have standby. Nothing went bang. So I switch the current limiter off. We can attach the monitor, we might as well, and then let's see what it does. I basically have this ready to go. Then I've connected the mouse, got a PS2 keyboard on there. We've set to normal mains now. We've powered up. So let's see if it starts. Well, the fans are running, but it appears to be dead. I don't get any bleeps or anything out of it, and there's nothing on the monitor. And just select the VGA input. Yeah, I'm on VGA. I'll show you if anything appears, but nothing's happened. There's no bleeps. So let's take the motherboard out and let's get it on the bench with a known good power supply. We'll probably have to change these capacitors as well, and then see what happens with it. We can have a quick look, but I will change these capacitors. But I'll just see again if it actually wants to boot up or not. There's a little speaker on board. I've also plugged a speaker in. There was connections for a speaker. Let's have a quick look. So we'll try and start it. It does start, but it doesn't, and it does beep. And I have a, yes, I have that on the screen. So this does boot up. It's possible there's a fault on the power supply. We can have a look at that. But first of all, let's change these capacitors. Let's see what we've got. To get to these, I need to take the heatsink off. You have to be careful with these Pentium 4478s, because what tends to happen is the CPU tends to glue itself effectively with the heatsink compound to the heatsink, and then when you take the heatsink out, the whole thing comes out, heatsink and CPU together. But it's not supposed to come out, it's supposed to stay in the slot. But let's see, remarkably this one actually didn't come out of the slot. So we've got that off. It's very dry, so it's obviously got some heatsink compound on it. Let's see which one this is. This is a 2.6 gigahertz, so it's not one of the particularly valuable ones. The 3.2s, 3.4. I think I had one that fetched about £100. Was basically the fastest you could get. So these are not of any particular value. I do have some faster ones myself, but that will depend whether this motherboard actually takes the fastest ones. So it is an 8SI-MLH revision 3.2. You can see it just there, and we have 4 visibly bad capacitors. I'll zoom down a little bit, you can see. So these capacitors, these will be on the 12 volt rail. If we look at them, we can see the markings on them, which will be on one side or another. These will be 16 volt capacitors. I'm sure they have some markings on them somewhere. In fact, they'll definitely have some markings on them somewhere, yeah. 3000, okay, I was wrong. These are 3306.3. So these could be on a 5 volt rail, but not on a 12 volt rail. These ones, which have obviously gone, are 1500 6.3. Yeah, those ones. It's quite possible that all these capacitors are on the low voltage side, but usually there's some 16 volt capacitors. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a 16 volt capacitor. Maybe the other one, I misread it. This gold on green isn't easy to read at all, but these are 6.3 3300s. That is a 16 volt. That is a 16 volt, and this will be the same height, 16 volt. So these are on the 12 volt, and these don't tend to go. It's the ones on the V core which tend to go, but these two look all right. So I'm going to change these 4, and then let's see how stable this is. I mean, it may well work anyway, but it's not good practice to leave these old capacitors in. You put more strain on the MOSFETs for one thing. So yeah, let's get those changed. I find the easiest way to do this is to put leaded solder on the capacitors and literally pull them out with my fingers, and then clean the holes afterwards to put the new ones in. I find cleaning the holes the most difficult part of the operation. So we'll just take some leaded solder and a bit of flux, and we'll find our capacitors, the ones that need to be removed. So we have one here, put a bit of flux up there. In fact, actually it's not that one, it's this one. So there's one on this here, and the easiest way is just to get a good blob of solder, big enough effectively to span both legs at once, and then heat up both legs, and then that, and out it came. Yeah, that's the easy way to do these. So that's the first one. We have two more over here. I can see them again. So one is here, one is here. Yeah, you can see them. And we'll do the same thing. So literally, good blob of solder, a bit of flux if it doesn't come easily. Both legs at once. Give it a few seconds, and the capacitor will just come out. Yeah, it just came quite easily. And next one, okay, is here. So once again, both pins at once. Yep, and it came out. So that's 3 out of 4 removed. The fourth one is over here, which we can see is in fact here. Get a little bit of flux again on this one. Go. Heat it up. And just get hold of the capacitor with my fingers. Okay, I have it. Both legs at once, out it came. Yeah, just as simple as that. So that's the capacitors removed. We can check them in a moment on the ESR meter. Easiest way now to clean the holes is with the desoldering tool, the vacuum tool. While we're just waiting for that to warm up, if we look at the other side of the board, you can see that's the capacitor I removed, and there's a space for another one there that wasn't fitted. This is where I removed 2, but there's actually a space for a third one. We can just check with the meter to make sure they are all in parallel. But while we're at this, we might as well upgrade the board a little bit and fit the missing capacitors. It's not going to do any harm, it may not particularly help, but I think it's pretty good practice, and it will basically just make it more stable, if anything, than it was before. So we can just check these are connected in parallel. So these are the 2 we removed, and there's that one. This is the positive end. So they're all in parallel, and then we can just go over here as well. In fact, these should be in parallel with those. Yeah, and the 2 ends. Okay, so I actually removed 4 capacitors, but I'm actually going to replace 6, the other ones over here, and that will just effectively help it to be even more stable than it was previously. You're upgrading the power supply basically. That sounds good. So let's see if we can clean these out. Now sometimes this is not easy just to do with a soldering tool. You sometimes have to heat the board with the hot air as well, or use the soldering iron and the desoldering tool together. But we'll try with the hot air. So I'll just put more leaded solder here. This is the one that wasn't fitted, but we're going to fit. Okay. I'll warm up the area with the hot air, and then we'll try and use the solder vacuum desoldering tool. Just turn the air up. Okay. So we can warm this up like so, and use the 2 tools together. And then it comes out clean, yeah. See, whereas the 2 on its own wasn't really doing it. That one didn't come clean. That one did. We can have a go at this one again. If not, we'll put a bit of fresh solder. Yeah, it came clean. So that's those 2, and then it's just a matter of going around and doing the same with the other ones. So we have over this side there's 3. Let me see where they are. Yeah, they're here. Yeah, they're here. So same thing. Fresh solder on all. Try not to use too much flux when you're doing this, because it just clogs up the vacuum tool. Basically, there's too much flux, it just clogs it up. Again, we'll do the same trick as before. So we'll just warm it up a little bit, and then we'll use the vacuum tool. So first one didn't come. Yeah, so it's not warm enough yet, basically. You can see that, yeah. Don't worry about it. None of them are coming. Okay, not a problem. We'll add some more leaded solder and we'll just go again. Clears up a little bit. Okay. Just make sure the tool isn't blocked. I don't think it's blocked, but we can be sure. Yeah, there's something clogging it just there. You can see this is why it didn't work. Okay. Okay. And we'll do it all over again. So in with the hot air. Warms up nicely. That's got it. Still not that one. Yeah. Okay. So it's just the ground plane was a bit heavier. Got that one. Got that one. We'll try this one again. Okay. Same with the last one, and then we can fit the new ones. The last one is over here, near this end of the board, and I can see where it is. Okay. I'm just listening to the, you can't see it, but I'm actually listening to it, yeah. It's sucking nicely. Okay. One more time, so just warm it up again. There's a bit of flux around this one, but we can live with that. Hello? Go away. I mean, a lot of these nuisance calls at the moment, guys, and it comes off a mobile number, and they say they're Santander, and they say, you know, there's a problem with your account, and I just say there'll definitely be a problem with my account if I speak to you and give personal information on a bloody mobile phone number. Yeah, if you're Santander, call me from the office. And I don't hear from them again. But they keep pestering me. They won't just give it up yet. They won't just give it up. Sometimes I text back and tell them I'm not stupid and do not call me again. And they still bloody do it. I mean, I blocked the numbers, but then they just regularly just find new ones. What I don't understand is why they're doing it. Why not put on their database, don't bother, this guy isn't stupid. Yeah. How many times do they have to do it until they'll just realise they're wasting the time? I just don't get it. Anyway, put the wheels to right on that one. If you're with Santander, be careful. It seems to be a Santander thing at the moment, a problem. Okay. Let's warm this again. Let's get this last one. All the rest of them have gone now, yeah. There we have it. While we're just waiting a moment, I mean, I should do it really while the thing's still hot. It's still pretty warm. Probably a bit too hot to insert capacitors easily at the moment. So we can just have a quick look at these old ones we've taken out and see how bad they are. So we'll just use the ESR meter and see. These should be low ESR capacitors basically. What we got? Well, it doesn't, I mean, it's not good, but it's not disastrous, if you know what I mean. I've seen much worse. Okay, second one. A lot better, but still not good. Yeah, about the same as the last one. A bit worse. So that's what we have that came out. They are 1,500 6.3s. Let me find some new ones. Okay, I have these ones, but they seem to be a bit wider. I'm not sure these will fit. Because I'm going to put 6 back in, I might put a different value that fits better on the board. Let's just check one of these in comparison with the bad ones we took out. Yeah, quite a bit lower. So let's see if these will actually fit in our board correctly. So we'll just go to this one, positive. Let's just see if it actually fits in. They're kind of like wider and lower, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, that seems to fit just fine. So we can put these. So if we put 6 of these rather than 4, that can only help matters really. If they'll fit so close to each other. Would you believe it's too narrow? But never mind, we can put 2 there. Otherwise we can fit 6 of something else, as I mentioned. This one will go in here. Bit of a tight fit. Does this one want to go as well? Yeah, these are not really easily going to go in here. So let's go with a plan B. So I can put this one here because that fits fine by itself over there. So we can put this one in. And then I think I probably have something like 1000s I can use, but because I've got more of them, the narrower will add up to the same thing. So let's get this one in first, and then see what we can do with all the other ones. Okay, so go. Again, I'll probably have to put a bit of heat in from the hot air. Should have done this when it was still a bit warmer, but never mind. You don't like soldering easily to cold boards, that's for sure. That's better. That's better as well. Okay, so you can see a little bit of heat, probably a little bit of flux as well. And we'll have a good connection there. Okay. If we set one moment, yes. Okay, so that one's in. Then let's see what we can put in the other spaces that we have on the board. Okay, so I've replaced the first 3. They're in. I had to get a bit of heat in again with the hot air. Sometimes you find if the board's too cold, it just will not solder properly. But those 3 are in place. We can now just chop them off. I prefer to do it this way. Some people prefer to cut the wires and then solder them, and then some people prefer to solder them, cut the wires, and then just once more go over the solder joint once they've chopped the wire. I tend to use this technique for the first one. I don't tend to use the ones of chopping them first and then soldering them. So this is quite a tidy way to do it. But guys, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. Yeah, so whichever way you find works best for you, that is the way to do it. So those three are replaced. We have just two more down here. This one I fitted the 1500, same as original. So let's have a go at these. So I'll push on the capacitors first to try and get them nice and flat against the board. Just bend the legs a little bit so this should stay in place. We'll heat the area up with the hot air a bit, and then we can come in and solder them. And then again, if we solder one leg first, we can make sure the capacitor is sitting flat on the board, and then solder the other one. So let's have a go. So first one, yeah, because we got the board hot, it seems to be working quite well. Second one, and I can just use a cloth and just sort of push against the capacitors because they'll be pretty warm, and just make sure they're sitting flush against the board. Yeah, that one says it. You probably saw it move a little bit. Same with the other one. Yeah, that's moved slightly, so that's sitting in there. Then we can straighten up the other legs and solder these ones. So let's see if we get these to go as well. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Same technique I used before. Chop the legs and I'll just touch up the soldering afterwards. Okay, there. Cut. And this just puts a nicely domed top on the joint, basically. It's all it really does. It's cosmetic rather than anything else, I think. Okay, so we have our capacitors replaced and fitted. Let's try again and see if this will now, well, it should boot up, and if so, let's take the hard drive and see if we get into Windows. Just before power it up, I'll just remember that I didn't chop off the legs on that one. Yeah, we can just touch it to clean the joint up, and we'll just clean a bit of this flux off with some isopropyl, and then we can give it a go. Comes off quite easily, this stuff. This is the NC559 ASM, my favourite flux. Yeah, that's that one. There's one more somewhere. Just find out where it was. There's two more, and they're over here. Actually, that's where they are. Yeah, that's nice and clean. A little bit of kitchen roll, and then we can try it. Okay. Yeah, this stuff. I get these from AliExpress. I pay, I don't know, 10 or 15 euros or something for a pack of 5. I don't know if these are genuine or not genuine, but I do know it works very well. That's all that matters. Yeah, it works. So if you think you think you shouldn't buy stuff from AliExpress, I'd say give it a go. Give it a try. If you don't like it, fine. If you like it, save yourself some money sometimes. Okay, so there's the CPU, a little bit of heatsink compound, and let's try it. Okay, we're powered up. We just went on again. I'm getting into the first boot screen. I've put 2 gig of RAM in now, so I've put a couple of single 1 gig strips, and so if it is dual channel, I don't think they actually were, can't remember, but anyway, both slots are working. So let's get the hard drive, and then let's see if it will boot into Windows. Does this hard drive have an OS on it? That's a good question. check some error. Okay, it's bitching about that, but if we hit F1 it should probably boot up. Flat battery, no doubt. Oh, while that's booting up, let me just show you guys. So I've rearranged my workbench now, so I now have both the monitors attached onto the wall. Somebody gave me the little mount for free, microphone in there. That's the new setup. What do you think of this sound, guys? Is it better than it was before? And that's how I have everything currently set up on my bench. Okay, so we're in Windows. It hasn't found the mouse yet. I do have it plugged in. Sometimes it takes a little while. So it's obviously trying to run some software, but the thing's working. That's top and bottom of it, yeah. Oh, it's now found the mouse, yeah. So we have another good working retro PC. Might be worth a quick look just to see if the other power supply was actually faulty. I'm not even sure what I was trying to Windows LER ID or something. This has somebody's life on it, guys. I mean, the number of times I find PCs that have got stuff on them, it's amazing. Yeah. But we won't mess around with somebody else's live. Okay, accept. There we are. So, it's working. It's working. Let's have a quick look at the power supply. I've reconnected the original hard drive, the one that came with it. Have it connected to the motherboard. So we'll just put the on-off switch back on. Let's see if this actually does boot up now. It started before, but it didn't actually boot as such. Let's see what it does. Well, I've got a bleep out of it this time. Yeah, this is good. This is good, yeah. So that's that one, guys. So at the end of the day, it was faulty capacitors. Changed the capacitors. It seems to be quite stable now. These old motherboards, I honestly think these are worth fixing. Anything like Pentium 4, 478, anything with AGP and earlier has got to be worth fixing. I mean, prices are fairly steady on these at the moment. Older machines are worth more. Certain types of motherboards are worth more. Some of the P4 478 processors, the 3.2, 3.4 gigs are worth quite a lot of money. So these things should be safe from the trash, if you ask me. They shouldn't be going in the landfill. Keep hold of this for another 10 years, and this is like a collectible. Yeah, in 10 years' time, a lot of people, I would think, buying and wanting these sort of motherboards to build Windows 98 retro gaming PCs and similar. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that short car booty video. I'll be down there every week, and hopefully I'll find something again soon, and we can do it all again. Hope you enjoyed that one, and ciao for now, guys. See you all soon.